The Deep Space Monitoring Station orbiting Neptune detected the signal first. Lieutenant Sarah Chin nearly dropped her coffee when the screens lit up with an identification code that hadn't been seen in over 50 years. "Commander, you need to see this," she called out, her voice shaking slightly. Commander Marcus Wright crossed the observation deck in 3 quick strides, his weathered face, marked by decades of service in Earth's deep space fleet, showed confusion as he read the data streaming across the holographic display. "That's impossible," he muttered. "The U.S. Horizon vanished in 2157. That was 53 years ago. But the identification codes were authentic. Every security protocol confirmed it. The ship that had disappeared during humanity's first attempt to reach the Kepler system was somehow transmitting from just beyond the solar system's edge. Sir, it's moving," Chin reported. "Current trajectory puts it on a direct course for Earth. Estimated arrival in 72 hours. Wright activated the emergency communication system. Earth needed to know immediately. The Horizon had been humanity's most advanced vessel when it launched, carrying 300 of Earth's brightest scientists and explorers. Its disappearance had nearly ended the deep space program. Families had mourned. Memorials had been built. And now, impossibly, it was coming home. On Earth. The news spread like wildfire to the colonies on Mars, the mining stations in the asteroid belt, and the orbital cities around Earth itself. Admiral Rebecca Foster, head of Earth's United Defense Force, assembled her senior staff in the war room beneath Geneva. "I want every available ship ready to intercept," she ordered. "We don't know what we're dealing with. The Horizon could be damaged, its crew could be dead, or—" She paused, not wanting to voice the other possibilities. "Or it might not be our ship at all," finished Captain James Murphy, her tactical advisor. "Something could be using its codes." Foster nodded grimly. "Exactly. We proceed with maximum caution." As Earth's fleet moved into position, long-range scanners finally got clear readings of the approaching vessel. What they saw defied explanation. The Horizon's basic hull structure remained intact, but it had been transformed. Strange crystalline formations covered large sections of the ship, pulsing with an eerie blue light. New sections had been added, constructed from materials that didn't match anything in Earth's database. "Energy readings are off the charts," reported the scanning technician aboard Foster's flagship, the UES Prometheus. "Whatever powers that ship, it's not using fusion reactors anymore." The Horizon continued its steady approach, ignoring all communication attempts. Earth's media buzzed with speculation. Religious groups claimed it was divine intervention. Scientists proposed theories about time dilation and wormholes. Conspiracy theorists insisted the government had known all along. Dr. Elena Vasquez, Earth's leading xenobiologist, studied the scans from her laboratory on the moon. She had been a young scientist when the Horizon launched, and her mentor had been aboard. The modifications to the ship suggested something beyond human engineering. "Look at these formations," she told her assistant, highlighting sections of the scan. "They're not just attached to the hull. They've integrated with it at a molecular level. This isn't damage or crude modification. This is advanced bioengineering." As the Horizon entered the inner solar system, it finally responded to Earth signals. But the response wasn't what anyone expected. Instead of voice communication, the ship transmitted a single data packet. When decoded, it contained just 4 words. "Prepare for the truth. Admiral Foster ordered all civilian traffic cleared from Earth's orbital space. Military satellites activated their defensive systems. If this was an attack, Earth would be ready." But as the hours passed, the Horizon made no aggressive moves. It simply continued its approach, that strange blue glow growing brighter. On the moon, Dr. Vasquez noticed something odd in energy patterns. "These readings," she said, pulling up comparative data. "They match theoretical models for zero-point energy extraction, but that's supposed to be impossible with our current understanding of physics." Her assistant looked skeptical. "Maybe our understanding is wrong. Or maybe," Vasquez said quietly, "someone taught them a better way." The tension on Earth reached a breaking point when the Horizon entered Earth's orbit. The modified ship was clearly visible to anyone with a decent telescope. The crystalline sections caught and reflected sunlight in patterns that seemed almost alive. Then, without warning, a small craft separated from the horizon. It was sleek, constructed from the same unknown materials that modified the mother ship. Earth's defense forces tracked its descent, weapons locked on, but Admiral Foster held back the order to fire. The craft landed in the designated quarantine zone in the Nevada desert. Military forces surrounded it at a safe distance. For long minutes, nothing happened. Then a hatch opened with a soft hiss, and a ramp extended to the ground. The figure that emerged was human, but changed. Captain Maria Rodriguez, the Horizon's commanding officer, walked down the ramp with measured steps. Her uniform was the same Earth Force design she had worn 50 years ago, but her eyes held a depth that spoke of experiences beyond imagination. Most striking were the thin, luminescent lines that traced patterns across her visible skin, pulsing in rhythm with her heartbeat. "Admiral Foster," Rodriguez said, her voice carrying clearly across the desert air, "I request permission to address Earth's leadership. We have much to discuss, and time is limited." Foster, watching through a remote feed, noticed that Rodriguez hadn't aged. She looked exactly as she had the day the Horizon launched. "Captain Rodriguez, you've been gone for over 5 decades. Where have you been? What happened to your ship? To your crew?" Rodriguez smiled, but it didn't reach those ancient eyes. "We found them, Admiral. Or rather, they found us, and now we've come back to prepare Earth for what's coming." "Who found you?" Foster demanded. "The architects," Rodriguez replied. "The ones who seeded this galaxy with life. They've been waiting for us to develop enough to be worthy of their gifts. The Horizon was their test, and we passed." The implication sent shockwaves through Earth's command structure. First contact, not with a new species, but with beings that claimed to have created life itself. It seemed impossible, yet the evidence stood before them in the form of their transformed ship and crew. Rodriguez continued, "They enhanced us, Admiral, gave us knowledge and abilities that will help humanity take its next evolutionary step. But there's a reason for the urgency. We're not the only species they've been watching, and not all have peaceful intentions." Over the following hours, more crew members emerged from the craft. All showed similar modifications. The glowing lines, the ageless features, the eyes that held impossible knowledge. They submitted to medical scans that revealed extensive biological enhancements. Their DNA had been augmented with structures that Earth scientists couldn't even begin to understand. Dr. Vasquez was brought in to lead the scientific assessment. When she saw her former mentor, Dr. Richard Kim, among the returned crew, she nearly broke down. He looked exactly as he had when he left, while she had aged 50 years. "Elena," Kim said gently, "I know this is difficult to accept, but everything we've learned, everything we become, is to help Earth survive what's coming." "What's coming?" Vasquez asked. Kim's expression darkened. The architects revealed that they've been cultivating species across the galaxy for millions of years. It's not just an experiment. It's preparation. There's something out there beyond our galaxy that consumes civilizations. The architect had been building an alliance of species strong enough to resist when it arrives. The revelation changed everything. Earth had always wondered if we were alone. Now we learned we were part of a vast cosmic community, united by a threat that defied comprehension. Rodriguez addressed Earth's combined leadership via quantum communication. "The technology we bring isn't just for defense. It's for transformation. Energy sources that will end scarcity. Medical advances that will eliminate disease and extend life. Propulsion systems that will let us travel between stars and days instead of decades. But we must integrate carefully. Too much, too fast, and we risk destroying ourselves." The debates raged for days. Some wanted to reject the gifts, fearing they would lose their humanity. Others demanded immediate access to all the technology. Religious leaders struggled to reconcile their beliefs with the revelation of the architects. Scientists were torn between excitement and caution. Meanwhile, The Horizon's crew began demonstrating their new abilities. They could interface directly with computer systems through touch. Their enhanced bodies could survive in environments that would kill normal humans. They showed recordings of their encounters with the architects, beings of pure energy that existed partially outside normal space-time. They don't see species, Rodriguez explained. They see potential. Humans have something rare, adaptability combined with curiosity. That's why they chose to enhance us. But enhancement comes with responsibility. The crew revealed that other human colonies throughout the solar system would need to be brought into the process. Mars, Europa, Titan, all of humanity needed to be prepared. The transformation couldn't be forced. It had to be chosen. But the window of opportunity was limited. How long do we have? Admiral Foster asked during one briefing. The architects weren't specific, Rodriguez admitted, but they indicated it would be within our enhanced lifetime. Could be decades, could be centuries. But preparation must begin now. As the first phase of integration began, volunteers from Earth's military and scientific communities were selected to receive the initial enhancements. The process was unlike anything in human medical experience. The subject were placed in chambers filled with a liquid that seemed alive, constructed from the same crystalline material that covered the horizon. Over 72 hours, their bodies were reconstructed at the cellular level. The first volunteer, Lieutenant Colonel David Park, emerged transformed. The luminescent lines covered his body in intricate patterns. His eyes held the same depth as the Horizon's crew, but most remarkably, his mind had expanded. He could process information at incredible speeds, understand complex equations intuitively, and perceive energy fields invisible to normal humans. It's not just physical, Park reported to the observation team. I can feel the connections between things. Energy, matter, thought, they're all part of the same fabric. The architects showed us how limited our perception was. As more volunteers underwent the process, patterns emerged. Not everyone responded the same way. Some developed stronger physical enhancements. Others gained heightened mental abilities. A few could manipulate energy fields with thought alone. It seemed the process enhanced each person's natural strengths. Dr. Vasquez, despite her age, volunteered for enhancement. When she emerged, the years had melted away. She looked 30 again, but her mind contained both her lifetime of experience and new understanding that transcended human science. The implications are staggering, she told her colleagues. Disease isn't just curable, it's preventable at the genetic level. Aging is a choice, not an inevitability. And the energy systems they've given us tap into the quantum foam itself. We'll never want for power again. But the gifts came with warnings. Rodriguez and her crew shared stories of civilizations that have received the architect's gifts and destroyed themselves through greed or conflict. The technology was powerful enough to create paradise or apocalypse. That's why the integration must be gradual, Rodriguez emphasized. We need to evolve socially and philosophically, not just technologically. The horizon itself was open for study. The ship's transform systems revealed technologies that seemed to violate known physics. The propulsion system folded space rather than pushing through it. The hull could shift between states of matter, becoming energy when needed. The computer systems were partially organic, capable of growth and adaptation. Most remarkably, the ship had developed a form of consciousness, not true sentience, but an awareness that allowed it to anticipate crew needs and respond to threats independently. It was alive in a way that challenged definitions of life itself. As Earth began constructing its first ships using the new technology, other changes swept across human society. The promise of extended lifespans and unlimited energy sparked both hope and fear. Economic systems based on scarcity began to collapse. Governments struggled to maintain order as old power structures became obsolete. Rodriguez worked closely with Earth's leaders to manage the transition. The architects warned us about this phase, she said. Every species goes through it. The ones that survive learn to value growth over greed, cooperation over competition. The enhanced humans became bridges between the old and new. They could still relate to unenhanced people, but could also understand and work with the advanced technology. They formed the core of a new organization dedicated to spreading the enhancements responsibly and preparing Earth's defenses. Reports came in from across the solar system as the technology spread. Mars terraforming, expected to take centuries, was accomplished in months. The ice mines of Europa were replaced by energy collectors that pulled power from Jupiter's magnetic field. Humanity's footprint expanded rapidly, but with expansion came discovery. Ancient artifacts were found buried on several moons, left by civilizations that had failed the architect's test. The remains served as sobering reminders of what failure meant. 12 species in this sector alone, Dr. Kim reported after analyzing the finds. All showed promise, all received the gifts, all destroyed themselves before reaching maturity, with a 13th attempt. The number wasn't lost on those with superstitious leanings, but Rodriguez remained optimistic. "We're different," she insisted. "Humans have something the others lacked. We've always dreamed of the stars, but we've also learned from our mistakes. Our history of conflict has taught us the value of peace." As the first year of integration ended, Earth was transformed. Cities floated in the air, powered by zero-point energy. Medical centers could heal any injury, cure any disease, even reverse death if caught quickly enough. Food scarcity was eliminated through molecular assembly. It seemed like paradise was within reach. But Rodriguez and her crew knew the real work was just beginning. The defenses against the cosmic threat were barely started. The social evolution needed to properly use the gift would take generations. And somewhere in the galaxy, other enhanced species were facing the same challenges. "This is just the first step," Rodriguez told the Earth Council. "We've been given the tools, but we must forge our own destiny. The architects won't hold our hands. They've done their part by showing us what's possible. Now we must prove we're worthy of survival." As she spoke, new signals appeared on Earth's enhanced sensors. Other species were reaching out, having detected humanity's transformation. The galactic community was welcoming its newest member, but with that welcome came responsibility and danger in equal measure. The Horizon, now permanently stationed in Earth orbit, served as a reminder of humanity's journey. From a missing ship to the herald of transformation, it had brought gifts beyond imagination. But, as Captain Rodriguez often reminded people, the greatest gift wasn't the technology. "The greatest gift," she would say, "is the knowledge that we're not alone, and that we have a purpose greater than ourselves. We're part of something vast and ancient, a community of minds stretching across the galaxy. And together, we might just survive what's coming." As Earth's first enhanced fleet prepared for launch, carrying the gifts of human colonies throughout nearby star systems, humanity stood at the threshold of a new age. The transformation of human society accelerated beyond anyone's wildest predictions. 6 months after the Horizon's return, Earth resembled something from humanity's most optimistic science fiction.